Navratri has been pivotal for us in our sort of learning of culture, but also religion and spirituality.
We've had challenges with Ma, but we also know she does like to test her devotees.
Here especially, we live in a Western world, and to try and keep the authentic folk music alive is something that's very hard to do.
For me, I can't put it into words what Garba and Navratri means to me.
It doesn't matter how tired we are, doesn't matter how tough a day we might have had at work, that's all washed away when you see hundreds of people just smiling and enjoying themselves.
A lot of meticulous planning takes place. For a lot of people, what they get to see is the 9-10 days of Navratri.
It's about how we then put it together, how we then create the music to it. The creativity just comes together and it just feels great.
People in the team are growing as the organisation is growing.
We're lucky in this, where we put our heads down, we work hard, and you look back and you see actually the work that you've been doing is not just benefiting you and your soul, but it's actually benefiting so many others.
Hi, I'm Priti Vasani and I'm a singer and I'm also one of the directors of Red Lotus Events.
So my name is Mira Salat and I'm the creative director of Red Lotus Events.
Red Lotus Events started in 2011 by myself and another friend of mine. The vision for Red Lotus Events was completely different. It was nothing to do with cultural activities or anything. It was more so of looking at it in terms of creating wedding events and so on forth. Even though we were trying to put ourselves out for that, it was something that my heart wasn't in. It was always in, okay, I want to do something for the culture. Because this is something that I wanted. This is something that I was craving for. And I felt like if I'm craving for it, I'm sure there are others that are also craving for the same thing. So that's when it was like, okay, you know what, I want to create something which is more educational and something that will entice somebody else or anyone out there to feel like, okay, this is our culture, this is who we are and what we do, so what can I bring?
The first Navratri Priti organised with her cousin.
He actually asked me, he said, Priti, how much does it cost to put your own Navratri together? And at that time I had no idea. So he said, okay, fine, you know what, I'll support you, I'll sponsor your Navratri, let's organise it. You find a venue and you have it exactly how you want it. And he asked me, what do you want for your Garba? And I said, I want my own musicians from Gujarat because I want that traditional music. I really want that feel of the authentic music. So he was like, okay, fine, you do it exactly how you want to do it. If you want to apply for people's, these artist visas, do exactly what you want to do because I want you to experience what you want.
I didn't find my place in Garbas after coming through a certain age period of enjoying it as a youngster but then wanting the spiritual aspect, and I couldn't find any organisation that was doing this. So when my mum told me about this one evening when I came home from work and she said, it starts in a couple of weeks, I said, yeah, sure, we'll go, we'll see what this is.
However, it was our first year of Navratri, and because people didn't know about it, we tried to advertise it as much as we could. So it was really difficult to get people through the doors. I would say the first year we probably had around 30 people, which most of them were our volunteers. And the ones that weren't our volunteers were given their money back and were asked to come and volunteer with us. So it was just our own people for those 9 nights to just enjoy themselves.
I was excited, it was great music. I was all dressed up, enjoying the music and dancing away. And when I heard the next year may not happen, it really hurt because you could see the potential for it. So when I came on board and the second Navratri happened and we saw the growth, it felt like an engine that was just getting filled up with coal, like we're slowly but surely we're going to pick up speed and this will work.
They were just so passionate about the community. There are so many Gujaratis here in the UK, in London, in Leicester, I'm sure in other pockets in the UK. But the way they spoke about their culture, I love my culture, but I'll talk about it in a dinner party or whatever and then I'll move on. But both of these girls were just so visionary. They were so passionate about the culture, they were so worried that it's actually fading away.
Navratri has been pivotal for us in our sort of learning of culture, but also religion and spirituality. But also as humans, as I said, like Red Lotus Events has grown us so much. And at a point, we got a little bit more confident, and I even looked around and said, yeah, well, we're there, look at us achieving all of these great things. And it was at the peak of the confidence, there was a sense of ego. And the whole of Navratri represents Mataji killing Mahisasur. It was not good over evil, it's actually truth over ego. It's being humble, right? That's what Mahisasur actually represents. And the moment the ego hit, Mataji attacked.
I go on mourn throughout those days of Navratri. I actually got a text message from Mira saying, I need you to talk. You need to know what's happened. So I had to answer my call, and she said to me, we can't go in for Garba today. I was like, this isn't the time to joke around. And she was like, no, guys, she was telling myself and Raj. And she said, guys, there is going to be no Garba today. And there's a flood in the venue. And it just felt like my heart dropped into my stomach at that time.
The flooding at the venue was heart-wrenching. Because when you're so high up and you fall, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
What are we doing? Have we done something wrong? Is Mataji upset with us for something? We try doing everything we can according to how we should. Why us? Why is this happening to us?
When I got the news about, oh my God, like we've been flooded and we cannot carry on this evening, it just made my hair stand on, and it was devastation is the word that is not strong enough to use. An understanding of what had happened is something that I can't really relate to, because there was no understanding of how the hell something like this would happen. How is it possible that this could even happen? Everything was great yesterday, what happened today?
To be honest with you, I after a while just did not know what to think. I felt like it was, I was a living dead at that time. That's how it felt. Like I had nothing to say to people. And it was like, what do we do next? It's like we're in the evening, it's evening time now. We can't make any phone calls. We can't do anything else. The only thing is, we just got to wait till tomorrow. As we were heading home from a meeting at the venue and we were heading home, myself and Mira, the thing is, we tried to stay strong in front of the whole team. We couldn't show them what we were also going through at that time. But we just parked up and me and her both just burst out crying. We physically could not hold it inside. It was like, what do we do? How do we get Ma from there?
And what was the most amazing thing about that year was the team. It was the team. And when we looked around and we saw the family behind us, and it was a family, and the fact that it hurt everyone just as much, and it meant so much to so many people, it pushed us to make sure that we did something about it. Every single member of Red Lotus Events worked day and night, finding venues, calling other people, calling every single guest that was going to come, figuring out possibilities.
And then we got a phone call from Raj after a while, and he said, guys, can we just try this other venue and see if we can get through? But the thing is, financially we couldn't afford it. Because we've done all these refunds, we were left with minus, we had nothing. So it's like, how can we now go to a venue which is costing us double the amount and do the last however many days left over there? How are we going to be able to do this? So the team, everyone got together, went to Brent Civic Centre, cleared out the venue, whether it was the instruments, whether it was a sound system, everything we had there. Within 1 hour, they cleared that venue out. Waited outside the other venue, waiting for it to just hit 5 o'clock so they can just go in there and just load everything in there. 5 o'clock they opened the door for us. The whole team went in. Within 2 hours, everything was set up. and we open the doors for the public at 7 p.m.
You know, these things happen and there are issues out of your hand, and you know, they're always out of your reach. But you know, when there's a team, when the team comes together, everything will unfold and everything will create a pathway the way it's meant to be.
It was a miracle what we pulled off, you know, bringing something back to life. It made, to be really frank, I know we were confident and we thought we've reached the peak. And actually what Mataji taught us is that actually that wasn't the peak at all. The fact that we stood up from that. And as a team, as a family, we rose above it. We hosted Ma, we put her Garbi back in the center, and thousands of people did her Aarti 2 days later with the same bhavna, if not more, in her praise. It's just proof of the resilience that we have built as a team, but also understood that what we think is our limit and our peak is nothing compared to what Ma has in store for us and what she sees as our peak. And she proved it to us. We didn't do anything. The authenticity at Red Lotus Events' Navrangi Navratri is like no other. The emphasis of making sure that the music is traditional, it's pure, and when it's Mataji na Garba, it's Mataji na Garba, and it's not influenced by any Western or Bollywood culture. It's purely traditional. And when it's not Mataji na Garba, it's still Gujarati folk music or Lok Sangeet. And that is authentically going to stay that way for the future. And this is Red Lotus Events' ethos, to make sure that that heritage is not lost. In every single aspect, every single area of Navrangi Navratri is looked after by somebody that has the same passion. It's looked after to another level. For example, the tour security team, they have the same ethos. They will make sure they welcome every guest like God, as the rest of the team would. You know, we will take care of them, we'll keep them safe, we'll make sure that they're protected, but also have a great time at Garba.
So our relationship started 3 years ago, and I'm so glad it did. I've been welcomed into the family, been made to feel at home, and actually been entrusted with my wealth of experience, because a lot of meticulous planning takes place. For a lot of people, what they get to see is the 9-10 days of Navratri. What they don't see is the months and months of planning that go into it, and every little detail is looked into. Every little potential outcome, every little potential scenario has been weighed up and has been planned for and planned against as well if we need to. So we're always prepared in that respect. We start off with the user experience. It's always our customers that are going to walk in through the door, the guests of Navratri. They are the most important people to us. And it's about making sure that from the minute that they walk into the door, them going upstairs, them experiencing Navratri for what it is, and then them walking out of the door, their experience from start to finish, A to Z, is an enjoyable one, a fun one, but also a safe one. And that's really where I come in, and that's where my area of expertise sort of lies, that making sure that everybody is safe whilst they're having fun.
It's been quite a journey for myself as well. I just went as a paying guest, simple stories, ended up joining that same night as a volunteership. You know, and from there I've remained. I'm stuck, I can't get out, literally. But more than that, the organisation has grown. The organisation, I think, has learned a lot. The organisation has streamlined a lot. It continues to grow, not just in terms of, you know, followers on Instagram and social media, but people in the team are growing as the organisation is growing.
So as a supplier, it's probably one of the events that I love setting up, because there's perfect knowledge of everything, and we're well looked after in that sense from the supplier's point of view, and it just makes it feel that we're part of the family. In terms of being there, it's crazy. The number of people that come through that door on a daily basis, and what we started to see is that it's not the same faces. They're different faces every day coming through that door, and seeing their reaction after they hear what's happened or after the event, all you hear is, oh my God, that's amazing. And the same feeling that we have, right?
The music is the one binding object throughout the whole of Navratri. It's the one thing that brings everyone together, whether you're outside on the ticketing desk, you can see us nodding our heads, or people at the front doors, or the people in the stalls. And when that music is done in an authentic way, with class, with energy, with fun, with excitement, with bhakti and with bhav, it fills you with another type of joy.
The fact that the music is traditional, like I said, I've seen it going to the music pieces and so forth going into Bollywood in the infills of music when they're not singing the Garbas, and this is pure traditional, and we've got musicians that come from Rajkot, from India, who drive that forward more. One thing that really sticks in my mind is that when any single person is going around in that circle, not any one of those are frowning. They've always got a smile on their face. They're really happy. They're enjoying the music, and that is literally the driving force for us. It doesn't matter how tired we are. It doesn't matter how tough a day we might have had at work, or whatever obstacles we've had throughout the day. That's all washed away when you see hundreds of people just smiling and enjoying themselves.
Here especially, we live in a Western world, and to try and keep the authentic folk music alive is something that's very hard to do, because we are so accustomed to conform to what society allows us or is portrayed, that we often are induced by the Bollywood or the different styles that are out there. But however, Red Lotus have worked really hard and are still working really hard to keep that authentic tradition alive, and I think that's what drives me to continue to go there, but also continue to give them my time, because I can see the value that it's having from them putting all that work in and what people are taking away from it, which is really important.
Like in these past 11 Navratris that we've done, it's like I've learned so much of different Garbas growing in this time, like from where I started, of what I knew, just working with these musicians. The amount of songs I've learned, whether they're the old traditional ones or whether they're the new ones. And it's not even just the fact that it's something that has been given to me from Ashish or the team. It's things from myself. It's like I want to learn these songs. I want to be able to perform these songs at Navratri as well. So it's about how we then put it together, how we then create the music to it and so on. It's so amazing, and the creativity just comes together, and it just feels great.
For me, I can't put it into words what Garba and Navratri means to me. It makes me feel so happy on the inside. And you ask any Gujarati this question, and it's such a hard question because it's in your DNA. What I love seeing at this Garba is that the youth that turns up, the youngsters, the kids Garbas. I mean, last year I was absolutely so amazed. I couldn't even park. There was no parking available. I mean, it was that packed. And this year they've got new dates on board just for the kids Garba, because it shows that there are so many parents like myself who want to retain their culture, and finally they have a platform to be able to do that in a safe space.
The interest from the next generation, and that's like a really big thing for what Red Lotus stands for, putting something out there, not just for us and the elder generation, but for the next generation and those coming thereafter. It's proved to be, through a lot of hard work, but it's proved to be that there is a requirement for this. In fact, the living proof, I will say, is the kids Garba. It's so popular, and it's just so adorable to be at these kids Garbas, and it's just so sweet that children are wanting to come to these events.
The best thing about Garba is how lots of people come and we get to dance with each other. When I come to Garba, it makes me feel happy.
I think being in the kids' takeover is really cool, because the kind of exposure on stage would probably help me get ready to be a pop star. I learnt the words for this song through Biti Fe. Ma bava tingariti utayare mahagari re ma bava tingariti utayare mahagari re vasavyo champaner pavangad varire vasavyo champaner pavangad varire.
Our parents a lot of them are first generation migrants into this country who have had to work really hard to find a place of their own in a Western world, but also a lot of them brought their culture with them. And the one thing I often say is, I myself wasn't born here. So when I came to this country, my culture was my safe haven. It was the only thing that I knew, the only thing that I could go back to. I came to a foreign country, I did not speak the language, and the people in this country were unknown to me. So my culture, my food, my dress, my heritage was my safe haven.
There's definitely a sense of hearth, and I don't know how to explain in English, a sense of calm and a surety that the work we're doing, heads down, is, it's reaping its fruits in the sense through everybody, and we're able to share that with everyone. When you do a 9-to-5 job, you get your paycheck and you're fulfilled by the work you do. We're lucky in this, where we put our heads down, we work hard, and you look back and you see actually the work that you've been doing is not just benefiting you and your soul and whatever I feel like I need to give back to the world, but it's actually benefiting so many others. And yeah, I'm grateful to Red Lotus Events for allowing me to have that platform to do that seva for the community.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
H, I, J, K,
L, M, N, O, P,
Q, R, S, T, U, V,
W, X,
Y, and
Z. Can I leave right now? See that door? I'm about to go right through that door.
There's no way out.
He goes from extremely nice, smiley ear to ear to, if you knew your lines, we'd be done by now.
I don't know what else to say, guys.
Now I know how you guys feel when you get on our booth, innit? It's kind of like the lights are really bad, innit?
Hopefully it's going on Amazon then, isn't it? Or Netflix or...
Netflix special, Raj special.
Huh? I could do that mic thing that Clarkson did.
Don't put it on social media. That's okay, but...
What's that Facebook Live?
All right, anyway, go on. Let's just do it.
Hi, it's okay, don't be nervous. You look... That's okay.
Why are we here?
Oh, nice to meet you too.